Peace and Black Power family. This is Jade Arundel, aka Lioness Crowned, your revolutionary, unapologetically Black African host right here at flynubianqueen.com, the network for melanated women like you. So I want to know how y'all are doing. I'm doing a roll call today, so make sure you come into this broadcast. Tell me exactly where you're coming from, where you're calling in, where you're logging in from. Let me know how you're doing. I pray that all is well with you all in the midst of COVID-19. Sadly, I have like a lot of people who have reached out. I've seen posts from people on my timelines, in my inboxes, in my emails, people have lost relatives, friends, family members, colleagues, etc., etc. Yeah, this is like one of those crazy times. So let me know where you're coming in from. Make sure you take a moment to like this video and share this video. I do want to talk about some of the policies that are happening around the country with these lockdowns and shelter in place orders that are coming out of certain states, and also different things that mayors are saying around the country. And I want to know, do you think that people should be jailed for not sheltering in place? We have a lot of defiant people out here who are disobeying a lot of these orders. We have more and more folks getting infected. The last I checked a few minutes ago, I see that the global death toll, according to CBS News, tops 50,000 people around the country, and I see that the Democratic National Convention has been postponed. So let me know what's up with y'all, where you're coming in from, and as you do that, I'm going to welcome you to Fly Nubian Queen. I'm going to invite you to go over to our shop at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Get you one of these. I got some cranberry juice in it. I've been drinking everything from green juice, cranberry juice, sea moss. I have my elderberry black tea. I've been putting fresh ginger and turmeric and all types of like tarragon and stuff into the foods that I'm eating and like different things that I'm drinking. Oh, I see Lavonda Smith is hailing from Arkansas. Hey, Lavonda. I'm gonna make sure I turn down my device so I can catch these comments. So let me know where y'all coming from. Make sure you put those in. I see we got Detroit. I see we got LA, DC, Baltimore. Okay, New York, of course. All right. Hey, Dietrich. Shout out from New York. Yes. All right. Yeah, continue to do the roll call. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me know what's going on. What is going on in your neck of the woods? Are you seeing an influx of people getting sick? Are you seeing people outside violating the shelter in place orders? And so do you think that they should be jailed? Should people be going to jail for not following these orders? All right. So I kind of want to explore that. There's several articles that have come out in the news. I'm in DC. And since last week, Mayor Muriel Bowser came on, and before issuing like a citywide lockdown or shelter in place order, because DC is not a state. This is federal property that we're on, and we do have the city government, which is DC government, but DC, the District of Columbia, Washington DC, Washington District of Columbia is not a state. So we've been saying we have taxation without representation. We even have members within Congress who are unable to vote. So like our Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, who has been serving like my whole life in the House of Representatives, is not a voting member of the House of Representatives, but has been fighting for statehood. And although she has written and passed more bills than any other member of the House, she's not able to vote, within our interests. So within our city, within our district, the mayor of DC did come on when announcing the shelter in place order, threatened a $5,000 fine and 90 days in jail. 90 days in jail and a $5,000 fine for anyone who broke the law, which is who broke the shelter in place order or the stay at home order. And that was met with a whole bunch of backlash. I mean, there was a petition that went around, and shout out to my brother Kimon Freeman of We Act Radio in DC. There was a petition that was put out. It was, saying that this was an unjust policy. And we know that when these policies like come out, who's the person or the group of people who are going to be the most likely to get arrested and go to jail or to be to have this policy enforced on? Black people, right? Not just in DC, but just in every other part of the country. So this was not a policy that, you know, something that came out that I agree with the mayor on or would support. And I was like one of the people who signed the petition. And then the day after that petition was signed, you know, Mayor Muriel Bowser did come on and say that she does not, you know, they expect people to comply with the stay-at-home or shelter-in-place order and does not plan on actually arresting people. So I'm glad that that shifted it, but you know, there is strength in numbers. And so if you see any policies that you feel like are inequitable or will be inequitably enforced within your area as it pertains to this, make sure you, whatever side of the issue you're on, just, you know, speak up about it. Speak up about it. Feel free to talk to your friends and family members about these sorts of things. But in my case, like, I wasn't about to sign off on or agree with the policy that I know would be disproportionately applied to criminalize Black folk and surveil us even more, as we are already hyper, you know, surveillance in our communities and targeted by law enforcement to feed the very, very greedy and demonic prison industrial complex. So that's my 2 cents on that. Although I do see people who are out there acting a damn fool, you know, some people who are still congregating. I saw an article about like a group of people, like white folks, like white kids, college students who had chartered a plane to Mexico to like party or take some trip. I don't know if it was during spring break or whatever. And then they came back and they're all like, a lot of them are sick or infected, and they then went and infected other people. I'm seeing things like that come out of California, where you had like these massive meetings or like parties and stuff with like white folk, like on beaches and stuff like that. And I don't see any of them getting arrested or in jail. I also saw, y'all tell me if y'all saw this. Did you see a some viral videos that were out of a repast in New Orleans, right? There was like a parade. It was like after someone passed away. This is the tradition. I have family down in that part of the country as well. So like the line leaders or the band leaders were arrested. And then I did see like a party like outside of a house at a repast or whatever. One thing that I will say, I think that a lot of people are not taking, or they're having a hard time adjusting to these shelter-in-place lockdown orders because, one, the President of the United States didn't take this seriously in the very beginning. And so a lot of people, I think, brushed it off, or a lot of people just thought that like, oh, this is just a disease that's over there and that part of the world doesn't really affect us. And now we're seeing like an influx in all of these cases of COVID. But with celebrities, like we started hearing about it with celebrities and stuff, and an NBA player as well. There were some rumors circulating that Black folk couldn't get it. And now, like, I know personally people who have been infected with COVID, and then also relatives and, you know, relatives of friends of mine and other family members of mine who have actually died and passed away from this. And so we know that this is something that Black folk, you know, are getting. I don't know all that there is about this disease. I've been tracking it for quite some time. First, the media came out and said, oh, don't wear masks. Masks don't protect you with anything. Then I saw an article a couple days ago that came out and the media is actually telling people to wear masks and protective gear. All of these misleading things. I think for myself, I march to the tune of my own beat. I'm going to do what I do for me. And so when I was one of those people out here on social media or just out in the world, like documenting myself in gloves and masks, despite people saying, well, the news said that doesn't work, that's not going to stop you from getting the disease. Now they're telling people that's what they need to get, and there's a shortage of it in the hospitals for doctors who are also getting sick and medical care workers. So moral of that story is, do you think for yourself, make the best decisions, use your good God-given common sense. And I also recognize and do realize that a lot of people don't have common sense, and a lot of people want to, you know, do as they're told. But I'm a revolutionary, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. Anyway, before I get into the topic of the day, I want to welcome you all to the broadcast. I'm gonna ask you to type in your opinion. Should people go to jail? Should they be jailed for violating the lockdowns? Should they be jailed for violating these lockdowns and shelter-in-place orders? And as you all do that, I'm welcoming you back into the broadcast. If you're just tuning in, I'm Jade Arundel, aka Lioness Crowns, your revolutionary, unapologetically Black African host, right here at flynubianqueen.com, the network for melanated women like you. I want y'all to make sure you go over to shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Make sure you visit our programs. This is a perfect time for you to start or refine your own business. So you can visit us at flynubianbusiness.com. That's flynubianbusiness.com. And also, if you want to grow your money, check out our money programs at flynubianmoney.com. All right, so let me see what y'all are saying, because I'm seeing some comments coming through, and I want to make sure I see what y'all say. Let me refresh this page right quick. I want to know if y'all agree or you disagree. And while I'm doing that, let me tell you how I know people personally who have told their grown adult children that they got to go stay somewhere else, because there's a lot of young people who are completely, I can't say they're oblivious to the fact that this disease is spreading and you can get sick, but some people just don't care, and some people are just selfish, and a lot of us just can't sit still. And so you have people who are going in and out the house. They're going in and out the house. They're going to their friend's house. They're leaving out, and then they're coming back into the house, and it puts everyone else at risk. I think if you're an adult or a parent in that situation, or even if you have a roommate or whoever staying with you, do what you got to do to secure your own health. If you have vulnerable people in your family who can really be at risk with pre-existing conditions, we know that people with diabetes and heart problems and respiratory problems are really at risk for this. And I also know that there's things that we can do to protect ourselves, right? Build up your immune system. But I saw someone put something about fear. Yes, this disease and this phenomenon, because it's about coronavirus, but there's also a lot of like stigma and fear around it. If you feed into the fear and you give this thing all of your attention, then you make yourself vulnerable to it, because, you know, fear and anxiety, it really does mess with your with like your immune system, your immunity, I guess you could say. And then also spiritually, thoughts manifest things. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Thoughts manifest things. We are what we think, and you don't want to manifest things that you don't want. And so we have to really be careful in terms of how we're talking about this. So there's a lot of different things that we can do to protect ourselves against COVID, aside from putting on gloves or protective gear or N95 masks. Social distancing is happening. People are not going outside. I have been going outside to like just get some air or get some vitamin D. We definitely do need sunlight, so I'm not gonna like be so much in fear that like I won't leave the house, but I'm also very cautious not to bring anything to infect anyone within my household either. Okay, so let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, y'all having your own discussion. This Oh, y'all arguing? Like, what is going on? So this is another thing that I'm saying, because I didn't read all of the comments, but what I do want to say, what I do want to offer is that, like, there's a lot of negativity going around, right? It's really easy to be upset, to be angry, to pop off on somebody or whatever, or to feed into the fear, the hysteria, and like all of this negative energy that's surrounding this entire situation. Like, and we have people going through some real stuff. Like, I know people who have been laid off, who don't know how they're going to feed their families. You know, we have community response, teams, going out there, community-based organizations trying to give food and supplies to people. This is a time of not only fear, but also scarcity. They say, the old folks say, and I'm sure y'all heard this, idle time is a devil's workshop. Idle time is a devil's workshop, meaning if you're not doing anything but sitting around listening to a whole bunch of news, that's not going to help you. That's going to, bring you some negative vibes. The other thing too is, like, if you're not doing anything productive, or if you're just like surfing the internet, and really not taking this time to go within to actually build and like recenter yourself or get yourself aligned, it's easy to like, project that negativity. So I'm going to ask for the sake of our own health and well-being, physically, emotionally, mentally, but primarily spiritually, because every single thing is spiritual. Let's refrain from going back and forth with foe. I know we cooped up in the house. Those of us who aren't, you know, essential workers, or people who aren't, you know, working and helping to continue to make the society go round, let's not take us time to have any of those sorts of back and forth conflicts, because it's really not helping the situation. It's not. Lamar said it's time to go fishing. Absolutely. I would love to go fishing right now in the Bay, in the Chesapeake Bay. I moved to the country, out the city, and I don't have cable. Best thing ever. That's right, Jessica. Listen, I have not turned on the Tell Live Vision in a week. And I turned off all of these news alerts from my phone. And so I don't find out anything unless I see it on my timeline. I've been trying to monitor my time on social media as well, or else I have to like go to a news website if I want to see what's going on. But at this point, we know that this is a terrible pandemic. It's a global outbreak. The United States is like trending at #1 in terms of the number of infections and the way that the disease is spreading, and like people are dying. I know for a fact that the number of deaths are being underreported. I know for a fact in a place like, for example, one example, okay, out of, you know, this entire country, New York City. There's so many people dying, like that have died in New York City. The media, I am convinced they're underreporting the numbers. And we're not talking about the level of anguish and pain that is, you know, and grief that families are going through. You know, there are people who are even passing away of things that are not COVID-19 related or coronavirus related, and there's no funeral services. You know, they have limits on the amount of people that can go to a service. So a lot of these memorials and stuff are going to happen after this, which is really, really sad. We got babies being born in hospitals. The fathers can't be there. Could you imagine? Ladies, could you imagine giving birth and not being able to have anyone, any of your people in the hospital, in the delivery room with you? These are the things that's happening under COVID-19. Meanwhile, I'm reading things. There's 5G towers going up. There's all types of radiation. There's just a whole bunch of things that we can, you know, we can look at and like how it's impacting things negatively. One thing on the bright side though, without all of this human activity and pollution, I have seen the most beautiful photos of the sky over different cities, like places like LA. Animals are coming out and roaming freely. You have dolphins, you know, showing up in different parts of the world that haven't been seen before, because a lot of the pollution that is man-made. So this is requiring us to take a pause. It's requiring us to take a pause. All right. I'm seeing somebody, y'all talking about black men. Don't be distracted. Black men being shot down like animals. Now we are not in this together. Yeah, people keep saying we're in this together. We're in this together. I'm in this with black people, with the right black people, because not all of us are productive or conducive to nation building within our community. But I am clear that like we're not all having the same experiences. Like, yes, you know, human beings breathe air and eat food and share spaces on the planet, and also within the social hierarchy of racism and white supremacy, we must remember that we have to replace that system with a system of justice. And so for that reason, I'm seeing, like I said, a lot of these policies and stuff coming out that are disproportionately targeting us. And on the flip side, we got to take some responsibility and accountability. I'm also seeing a lot of, and I've seen this with my own two eyes, like loitering. You know, some parents may be having a hard time keeping their children in the house. And I'm not talking about their adult children. I'm talking about like, you know, like young adults and teenagers and stuff like that. I'm seeing I'm hearing about a lot of robberies and murders coming out of certain areas around the country. People are taking advantage of this. So we just have to be mindful of those things as well. We have to be mindful of those things as well. But what I have to do right now is take a moment to shout out our brothers who are on the front line while they are telling us to shelter in place and be in the house. We really do have some brothers around the country, and I can name several from several cities off the top of my head, who are out in the community looking to see exactly what the hell is going on, and they're still out there to, you know, keep watch to make sure that like our communities are secure. And with that, I'm going to shout out our brother. Shout out to our brother Tyrone Muhammad of Chicago. If you don't remember who our brother is, he's the one who threw a brick inside the nail salon that they had assaulted a black woman, and then he peacefully got arrested and was like, yeah, what? He runs a community-based organization for the formerly incarcerated. They do a lot of great work. And he did a video that I shared on my page the other day, and it was like a lot of construction and building. It's also happening outside while the rest of us are in the house or told to shelter in place, meaning construction companies and, you know, black neighborhoods are building. That's considered an essential work also. So I find that to be quite interesting. I have some things I'm going to write this down. I'm going to talk about education a little bit before I get off this broadcast. I haven't been on in a little while. I have really still been advocating and dealing with some issues that are happening within black community, you know, through the work that I do. So I'm gonna have to get back to doing that work today, because I definitely want to stick to a timeline that I set up for myself. But I want to see what y'all are saying. And before I look at more of your comments, I'm going to welcome you all to the broadcast. Make sure everyone take a moment to share this video. Take a moment to share this video and let me know in the comments, do you think black people should be jailed for breaking the law, right? I kind of talked about a bunch of different things, but let me talk about reasons why I know, and I can kind of see the point of why some people feel like, hey, some of these people need to get locked up. A lot of those people who were in Florida on those beaches in parts of California, like the white parts, I would like to see them go to jail. Go to jail. You violating a stay-at-home order. You're contaminating and affecting other people. You putting other people's lives in danger. Why not? Why not? Why not? But again, when I'm constantly seeing on the media, I'm seeing black folk getting arrested. I'm about to pull up an article too that came out of New Orleans, and then I saw an article about a man who went to a hospital as his wife was in labor or something, and I think it infected his wife. But the thumbnail of the article was of a black couple, but I'm not even sure if that's the same couple or if the original couple, the man who did that was actually black. I don't know. But again, that's why I'm an advocate for doulas and midwives. I'm not going to no hospital to have no baby, period. And this is before COVID-19. I already decided that for myself. I see Vicky. It says Vicky shared the stream. I'm not sure if that's my sister Vicky Diller, but make sure y'all check out my sister. I see my sister Latoya Redmond is also in the house. Somebody said that their melanin needs the sun. What you think about these 5G towers? My sister, I think that 5G is awful. I know that 5G towers have started to be installed around parts of the country between like in February, but definitely in March. I know that 45 the Antichrist, some of y'all's president, actually did sign an order having to do with 5G technology into policy. So like it's a law now, like they will be using more and more 5G and then also encouraging it in other places around the world. He signed that on March the 23rd. Again, a lot of policies, a lot of things are being pushed and signed into law while we are all, or a lot of people, the majority of Americans are paying attention to COVID-19, reacting to COVID-19, or looking at back-to-back, nonstop 24-hour news coverage on it. And the reasons why I don't support 5G is because of the radiation. It's kind of like, you know, what happens to your body. You know, like when people are in radiation therapy for cancer, you know, for example, like it starves your body, your cells of oxygen. Not only that, 5G has been proven to kill plants and trees. Okay, it's harmful, you know, in the air in general, and so breathing all of that in, and like, yeah, unless you have an alkaline body, your body is not going to respond well to it. And I would hate to see more Americans or people around the world getting sick because of it. So I don't support it, and I'm actually going to order some things to put on my devices, and there's different stones that you can also order to block the 5G radiation. Okay. Yes, Jessica says we need to be starting our own gardens. Absolutely. Absolutely. 5G ain't no virus. They say one word, say one world order or new world order. I don't know what that means. But yeah, that's what's going on. So let me pull up a couple of the things that I did want to talk to you about. I talked about the DC policy. Now the mayor is saying that they don't plan on arresting people or giving them a $5,000 fine. $5,000 is a lot of money for people to pay for a charge, especially like within this economy. I'm not convinced that most people who had their jobs in the first place are going to be able to go back. But I understand the need also for stricter measures so that other people don't get infected with COVID-19. I am very, very strong. I have a very, very strong immune system. I'm vegan. I put a lot of good things in my body, but I also know that if I'm a carrier of this disease, I wouldn't want to bring it around elderly relatives or someone who has a weakened immune system either. That would be highly, highly, highly irresponsible of me. All right, so this says New Orleans criminalizes a man over public gathering when there's no judicial system in place. Remember, the government, a lot of like essential like things are just not working right now. And so according to this article coming out of News One, it says that you know, there's no judicial system in place and this person has been jailed over a public gathering. I'm seeing a lot of that, like people hosting public gatherings. But at this point, if you're paying attention and you know that like there's a state of emergency, there's a social distancing laws and policies federally there, and then other states like Florida yesterday, you know, issued a shelter-in-place policy or a lockdown statewide. It's happening more and more and more. The state of Virginia, I think they said that they are going to have their order extended through like June 10th or something, and that schools will not open back up. So there are also other school districts that are not opening back up. So at this point, if you are still trying to have a public gathering, then you kind of are getting what you asked for at this point. I mean, and why set yourself up? Why set yourself up for failure if you already know what it is? That's what I don't understand. But then I also know that there's a lot of people who are trying to intentionally spread this disease. You have people who are licking stuff in the grocery store, who are coughing on vegetables and fruit and doing all types of stuff deliberately to spread the virus. But then you have black people who innocently cough and are accused of trying to spread a virus. They may or may not be positive, but just for them coughing, they're getting locked up and getting arrested. I'm saying if you want, just make it an equitable policy. If y'all gonna be locking people up, then lock up the white folks and the non-black folk too. That's what I would like to see. Oh, somebody says that let's talk about our health. Y'all keeping the fast food restaurants open. Absolutely, Jessica. Thank you for bringing that up. Listen, I understand that some people live in food deserts where there isn't healthy food options or a lot of grocery stores or farmers markets, etc., etc., etc. But you couldn't get me to eat, like, I ain't ordering nothing, like, and people who are eating fast food, it's just like, listen, I understand people work there and that's their livelihood, and at the same time, you don't know who's preparing your food. You don't know if these people are sniffling, if they're not washing their hands or whatever. I mean, I just wouldn't chance it, and I definitely wouldn't feed it to no babies. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Keisha said, yes, go to jail, save a life. Listen, in certain circumstances, I can't disagree with that either. I can't disagree with that. I mean, you got 100 people out there having these gatherings with hundreds of people, dozens of people, it's just, and then they go home, then they go out, and it's just, this could go on for months or a year or years at a time if we don't get this under control, if they don't slow the curve. And what I'm hearing is that the virus is going to peak and come up to its apex, you know, within a few days or a few weeks, according to who is giving the information or the study. But we have not seen the worst of this yet. We haven't seen the worst of this yet. And I'm keeping my distance from folk, quite frankly, because again, I don't want to spread the stuff. I don't want to spread the stuff. So yeah, that came out of New Orleans. Y'all can go look at that article from News One. But yeah, it's just a lot going on. I can't say that do I have mixed feelings about this? I will say that I am and I always will be biased in favor of our people, because I know how this system is set up to criminalize us and make us into, you know, well, to criminalize us even when we haven't done anything. I see a lot of danger any sorts of policies in terms of like who is targeted and who gets a pass and who gets to infect people with immunity or break the law with immunity or impunity rather. So I think this is a equity issue. Okay, so Dewana says that fast food workers are giving out orders with gloves on. You don't know the last time that they changed the gloves, touching money and all. That's a good point. That's a good point. Listen, I don't know if America or the world is ever going to be the same after this. I don't know if it's ever going to be the same after this. I see, you know, y'all are putting in a lot of great comments and stuff. So, yeah, should people go to jail? So I'm not really sure also of what locking up people in a situation like this, like what is that actually going to accomplish? What is it going to accomplish? If you have people who are breaking the law for violating these policies and these stay-at-home orders, and you're putting them in jail, but then you have jails and prisons who are releasing prisoners early because of outbreaks within the jail with coronavirus. So if you're putting more people in there who have been out on the street and breaking the law anyway, wouldn't that make it spread more like within the prison system? I don't know. Excuse me. I also saw that there's a correctional officer that lost their life today, I believe, or yesterday in DC at DC jail. You have police officers who are also infected. I'm seeing a lot of black police officers and like other people on the front line, medics, nurses, etc., who are getting infected. This is just a problem. I'm not sure if there's just one way to solve this or mitigate this. I can only, you know, speak to what I'm doing, which is taking care of my immunity, taking care of my family, making sure I'm putting the right things in my body, and like staying away from folk, and still advocating for the issues that I'm seeing in terms of equity and stuff that are coming up. I want to remind you all to go over and visit shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com, and get y'all one of these mugs. I need to take a sip of my cranberry juice. I feel like I've been talking like all week. And I want to also ask you to make sure you share this video, hit the like button, and also subscribe. Go over to flynubianqueentv.com, flynubianqueentv.com, and subscribe to us over there. Check out our other queens delivering the best content, talking about a lot of trending topics and issues, but also like their own lives and like personal experiences. And let's stay connected. Make sure you text the word Queens to 31996. That's Queens to 31996. Please be aware U.S. government is guilty putting this virus out there. Yep, I'm hearing that. And I'm also hearing that, you know, a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff about, you know, China spread it to the U.S. and the U.S. spread it to China and blah, 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 blah. Now, in order to keep my own sanity and my own peace of mind so that I can really focus on doing my life's work and my purpose, which is, you know, undoing anti-Black racism in media, education, and policy, and replacing that system of racism and white supremacy with a system of justice, I have been doing a lot of internal work and meditation. Ayanna Van Zant has like these daily antiviral messages where she's been talking every day about like things that we can be thinking about, breathing techniques and different strategies and tools, and like how we should be interacting with ourselves and each other during this time while we are, you know, under like a lockdown. And listen, if we try to figure out the origin of all of this and who did what, the fact of the matter is this is happening and we have to protect ourselves and each other at all costs. Oh, hey, I see my sister Simone Kason is in the house. How you doing, sis? So yeah, listen, our thoughts become things. We have to really focus on the things that we can't control. I can't control if, you know, this is a biochemical weapon, or if like what other people are choosing to do to spread it or not. I can only control what I do and in my environment around me. Okay, so again, obsessing over the details could ultimately, it feeds into the fear and it feeds into the hysteria, and at the end of the day, it's not helping us right now in this moment. Now long term, in terms of strategic planning, excuse me, yeah, we definitely need to be thinking about those things and like shifting policy and, you know, pushing back on any sorts of things that are harming our people. So I'm not saying turn a blind eye to it either, but I'm also saying, like, balance out the inquiry and the investigation and the analysis, and don't let it become analysis paralysis. All right. Dewana, population control, all of a sudden it's a virus, and the census wants a count on every U.S. citizen. Yep, it is census time. I think the deadline was like April the 1st. And there's a lot of things I'm hearing and reading about Bill Gates and stuff, but again, I've been more so focusing on the things that I can change and impact, instead of getting wrapped up in what these devils are trying to do. At the end of the day, I have a great deal of peace and serenity and calm and gratitude, because I serve an awesome God, an almighty God, who is doing what he does. And pray by his grace that I'm guided and protected, and that we are guided and protected in all that we do. And with that helps keep me sane. But the devil's gonna do what devils do, what they was put here to do. We can't be surprised at that. Kimberly Johnson says, I found out that pregnant nurses are being assigned to work with coronavirus patients, pregnant people, and those with compromised immune systems definitely should not be assigned coronavirus patients. Those with strong immune systems are having a hard enough time as it is caring for coronavirus patients. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's insane. And guess what? Listen, again, can't ask me. Those things are happening, and those are the types of specific cases that I've literally been working on this week and advocating for and doing some stuff doing some stuff about. And I will say, just me as an individual, I understand that a person's livelihood, making money, having job security, and all of those things is very, very, very important, as we have other responsibilities and family members to take care of. But at the end of the day, I'm one of those rebellious people, you know what I'm saying, who, if there's something that's going to put my life in danger or my loved one's lives in danger, there's no amount of money you could pay me. There's no amount of shame you can try to, shame me with, to try to control me, to make me do something that I don't want to do. Period. And so, listen, people got to be willing to speak up and advocate, bring light to these issues if they are in those situations, or you got to be prepared to walk. How far are we willing to go in order to have justice, or to create justice and some security for ourselves? That's a personal question that everybody, really needs to, that's what we really need to be contemplating. And listen, you can't get fired if you work for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you willing to give up to have the life that you want to have? And to me, integrity and freedom are non-negotiables. And I'm willing to go however far I need to go in order to, protect myself. So you can't just a paycheck. That's not enough to make me and my unborn seed to be at risk in that situation. And I do have empathy for all of our workers, our medical workers, people who work in like sanitation. We got UPS workers and stuff like that. I think that we have to take, precautions, or another option available is to do what that sister did, that nurse who walked off her job. She quit. She had survived cancer, I think she said several times. I think you all have seen this viral video. She has like family at home, like her children at home, and her husband's like in a different state doing something else, and she walked. And I was like, that would have been me. You're not about to put me working with, people that can put my health at risk, and I could potentially lose my life because I'm high risk over a job or a paycheck. But I understand that not everybody is going to take that stand for themselves or for their colleagues or for each other. So that's where people like me come in, because I don't really have much to lose. I don't. Vanessa says, TD Jakes has some very spiritual inspiration services every day to help us stay focused spiritually. God will see us through this, I think you said. God will see us through. Thank you for telling me that. I'll check out TD Jakes and see what he has to say. I'll see what he has to say. I know Lisa Nichols is also doing like a 30-day challenge, so she's coming on every day. I think today's about to be day 6. Ayanna Van Zant just finished up day 17 today on her message. So there's a lot of great resources out there. there's enough things for us to do inside inside, as opposed to being tempted to go outside. Like, unless you have to like really, unless I'll speak for myself because I can't tell y'all what to do, unless I have to go out and pick up an essential item like a prescription for someone or something that is absolutely necessary to have or get, I don't have to go out there. You know, I've been occupying my time with those meditation practices, working out in the house, learning comedic yoga because I can't go to the gym, but I have gone running a couple times with my N95 on. I've been taking some workshops, so I've taken several workshops, and one workshop I took this week was with Mama, or Professor Bayina Bello. She was in the movie 1804, but she is an expert on the Haitian Revolution. She's an absolute expert on the Haitian Revolution. She is an expert on voodoo. And she was talking about her new book, which is Sheroes of the Haitian Revolution. All of those Haitian female warriors and warrior queens who made the Haitian Revolution happen. I've seen her do this lecture in person. I got her book. I met her. She's actually the mother of one of my friends out of New York. So it's great to meet her in person last year. And then I also went onto that broadcast and we talked about the spiritual implications of what's going on around us right now. So those lectures are happening. There's so many other people who are having lectures and workshops and things for free. I know Essence.com, they have like a streaming service where it's free. You go to their website, they have different speakers and experts and people who are like working out and stuff online that you can take that. There's exercise classes you can take. I signed up for a couple classes myself, just to refine some of my professional skills to keep me occupied. So in the age of technology, we have, you know, there's things that we can do to even prevent being under the threat of facing jail time for breaking curfew. But again, you got to go outside, do what you got to do, get some sunlight, do what you need to do. Just be careful and be responsible about not infecting other people. So I think a lot of people are saying, yeah, those people need to be locked up. And then there's some other folks who are saying that, like, what is jail going to do? But I think the overwhelming majority of responses that I saw and that people I've been talking to are like, yep, they need to go to jail. Lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. Get them off the streets. I can see an argument for some people just ain't right, or some people just evil and wicked, and they want to do evil and wicked things. And so there's a place for those people. Kimberly says, I saw the video about the nurse who quit on YouTube. Oh, she called into the Breakfast Club. Beautiful. I would like to see that. Yep. Your life is more important, Stephen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you all. What time is it? Oh, yeah. I want to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. Let's just think about these things. Think about these things. Go back to this video. I gave some resources and some information of things that I've been doing to occupy my time. But, you know, I'm still working during this time as well. Make sure that you are balancing out your social media intake, your media intake, mainstream news media especially. And remember, idle time is a devil's workshop. So do something productive. Go start a class, start a business, look for like these free workshops. Do some stuff. I see people putting up TikTok videos. That's all fun and cute and nice and stuff, but what are you going to put your energy into that's going to sustain you, that you can continue to do and like use to build yourself up, to help yourself, to help other people, to create a legacy, to build onto your legacy, to generate some income? Again, go over to flynubianbusiness.com. That's flynubianbusiness.com. Do that. Make sure you're praying. Make sure you are exercising, even if you just stretch or do some jumping jacks or just kind of like stretch your body. Do something to take care of your physical, and also monitor what you're eating and what you're putting into your body. So if you're eating a lot of foods that are high in sodium or salt, if you're consuming a lot of alcohol or sugar, it's destroying your immune system right now when you need it to be in tip-top shape and tip-top condition. Increase your greens. Take a multivitamin. If you can get your hands on some, go to a health food store or get some over-the-counter vitamin C. I've been taking vitamin C. I have a lot of vitamin C in my diet anyway, but you definitely want to put some vitamin C if you know any, especially elderly, they need to be on vitamin C. You can get that through fruits. If they're already on medication, talk to a doctor before trying to put them on any vitamin, but ask about vitamin C because they're using vitamin C in IVs for coronavirus patients. They've done that in Cuba, and also I saw an article coming out of the New York Post that they're doing the same thing here in America now. They're prescribing vitamin C to folks who have coronavirus. Also, vitamin D. Get some vitamin D3 because a lot of people are now just in the house for days and weeks at a time. So you want to make sure that you are getting that substance, that vitamin D that we naturally get from the sun, which is why you kind of do need to still go outside or like get some sunlight, open the windows or whatever. But that's what makes our melanin strong. And so you need to put that vitamin D into your bodies. I also talked about elderberry, which is, you can get elderberry tea. What else? I've been cooking with a lot of ginger, a lot of cayenne pepper. They say drink warm liquids. I'll give you some information really quickly before I hop off about what you can be, like just facts about the coronavirus really quickly. So I'm hearing like some things coming out of a particular hospital, Johns Hopkins Hospital, like recommendations to safeguard ourselves. One, drink lots of hot liquids, coffee, tea, soups, and warm water. Listen, I can't tell y'all to drink coffee because I did a video on Fly Nubian Queen with Mama Muntu that a lot of you all saw talking about safeguarding your immune systems. And they talked about staying away from caffeine. So if there's like a black tea or coffee, it actually depletes the nutrients out of your body. But Johns Hopkins is saying drink lots of hot liquids, okay? That includes soup. 2, take a sip of warm water every 20 minutes. This keeps your mouth moist and washes any of the virus that has entered your mouth and pushes it into your stomach where the gastric juices will neutralize it before it can get into the lungs. Gargle with an antiseptic and warm water such as salt, vinegar, or lemon juice every day if possible. That's number 3. Number 4, the virus attaches itself to hair and clothes. Any detergent or soap kills it. Take a shower immediately when coming from outside and shampoo your hair. As you can see, my locks are not twisted because I've been washing my locks quite often, and I started like wrapping my locks up. But yes, the virus does live in your clothes and it lives in your hair, so you got to wash that out, or just cover up your hair. Number 5, wash metallic surfaces. The virus can remain viable on the surface for up to 90 days. When not in your home, wear gloves if possible to avoid touching handrails, doorknobs, etc. If you can't wear gloves or don't have any, wash your hands immediately and then shower. I see my light went out, but it's all good because I'm about to hop off. 6, regardless if you have gone outside, wash your hands every 20 minutes with soap that foams or do it for 20 seconds. 7, eat fruits and vegetables. Try to elevate your zinc levels. 8, animals do not spread the virus to people. It's person-to-person transmission, so keep that in mind. 9, try to avoid eating and drinking too many cold things. 10, if you feel a sore throat coming on, gargle with antiseptic immediately. Do it every hour. The virus enters through the throat where it remains for 3 to 4 days before it passes into the lungs. So the point is you want to get the virus out of your nose and out of your throat and get it to pass through your stomach or just out of it before it makes it into your lungs. When it gets into your lungs, that's where the inflammation starts and you have a problem. Okay, so it says that through autopsies, they've learned that the virus is characterized by thick mucus obstructing respiratory pathways that solidifies and blocks airways and lungs. In order to apply medicine and for treatment to work, you need to open the airways. That can take several days, and hence why those with underlying respiratory medical conditions and elders are at high risk of complications. Okay, so I gave y'all a lot of tips, a lot of information. I kind of talked about, you know, whether people should go to jail or not for breaking the law. I'm just saying I don't want to see people, black folk, massively incarcerated because of these shelter-in-place orders. I would like to see keep that same energy for non-black folk as they are doing all types of foolishness around the country and not facing any sorts of consequences. So that's what I'm gonna say. I have a call that starts in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna remind you again to go over to Fly Nubian Queen Shop. Go over to shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Get you one of these lovely, 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 lovely mugs that we have. Also text the word Queens to 31996. That's Queens to 31996. I love you all, and I'm so grateful that you joined me today. I promise to come back on. I'll find some time between my workshops and my conference calls that I'm leading to just, you know, chop it up with y'all. Okay, I wish you all well. I will be praying for our collective health and strength. Remember to be grateful for everything that we do have, and also find some time to like meditate and put some positive vibes out there into the universe. All right, this broadcast is ending, but so is global racism and white supremacy. We will trample this beast through preparedness, collectivism, fortitude, preparedness, and collectivism. And always remember that they stole us, they sold us, so they owe us. Until next time, family, peace and Black power.